What is up the world we live in? My name is LoXP and it's once again time for my Hermitcraft retrospectives. Now, plenty of you wanted me to talk about Avengers music copyright strike, and we will, eventually. But as Mama's loyalist said, you can't have your desert before you had seen all of your friends stab each other in the throat. So today we'll precurse the Hermitcraft Civil War with all the geopolitical reasons that led to it. Today, let's talk about Hermitcraft Season 6 Prank War. Now, prank wars of sorts are not a new thing for Hermitcraft. So much so that I was planning a top 10 pranks of all seasons video and gave up halfway through. People have sent fish and Shreks to each other in the past, lest we forget.
Oh man, that's like stay out of my swamp. That is the best.
The one thing this prank war has on DOS, however, is the amount of people involved and the utter mess that the continuity is. Seriously, they went so convoluted, fans are still arguing about what even started this whole thing. Opinions range and vary, so for the purposes of this video, we'll say that the chain of events does not go further back than Iskall building a giant chicken on top of False Symmetry's base. Some will say that the diorite used in it was given to him by Mambo in another prank, which itself was a retaliation for encasing Mambo in obsidian while he was AFK with green. For the purposes of this video, I'm gonna pretend all of them are wrong, I'm right, and tracing this further back than the chicken prank only makes sense if you want to blame the whole thing on Bifa and Exuma, because, you know, they were the ones who started the Hermitcraft Season 2 back in the day.
So that's my spawn house, we're done. Thanks very much guys for watching the latest video on Hermitcraft 2.0. See you next time.
So why this? Well, Green Headhunt was a previous storyline, and it was a competition to collect green heads. False Symmetry won with Iskall coming close second. More importantly, False Symmetry won in large part thanks to stealing some heads from Iskall's own head vault and doing it with style. Iskall took it well, by which I mean that he built a giant chicken on top of her base and also sprinkled a bunch of diorite around because haha bird poop.
That looks ridiculous. Yes! It's the chicken in the green costume. I blame him. He's pooped all over the base. Look at this thing. This is so good.
The joke was supposed to be that this is a chicken in a man costume, so a reverse of Poultryman, who is a man in a chicken costume. This is where the whole thing would end, but False's base is fairly close to the pirate district, where one zombie Cleo happens to have a residence. Floating by, she couldn't help but investigate the oversized bird.
I'm sorry, what? Well, that's a thing. That's a lot of chicken poop. You know what? No. Oh no, I can make this better. I can make this better.
By Red Dog? Dude, I thought we were meant to be friends.
Since Ren and False were just about to join bases back then, False did not take this lightly. There was one project as close to Ren Dog as her base was to False, the Hermitcraft Rail Network. And it was going down. Calling in Green for his redstone experiment. I'm sorry, I cannot finish that sentence. Calling in Green because he was available and had a cute sweater. False went to the main station of the Hermitcraft Rail Network, and together they've made a roller coaster around it. That roller coaster would slam block Ren around and then just drop him into a pit, dispense lava over him, eventually kill him perhaps.
Little jump, and then this is when he's like, "Oh, I'm going backwards. Look at me, I'm Ren Dog." that's what he says. It's just going to chuck him straight off the edge. You hit this, and you go straight down, and activated.
Oh,
then there's some
really
signs
slow.
here. There's some signs here.
Have I completely overestimated what is actually wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Thank you for riding the Grand Central Station roller coaster. If you look above, you will find your destination. No.
The cherry on top was their attempt to frame Iskall fodder.
Oh yeah, hi Ren Dog, it's me, Iskall, your Swedish friend.
Sounds great, yeah. Sounds exactly like Iskall.
Yeah, we're totally gonna get away with this.
Somehow Rendak managed to see through that masterful fake. So he decided to take this to the source of the problem, Zombie Cleo. Bringing Dockham and Impulse SV along because, you know, stock exchange was a thing back then, Together, the three of them created an impressive ghost ship parked alongside clues on Juggernaut vessel.
Let's take another look at this boat from a distance. Look how beautiful that looks, guys. Oh, it turned out so good.
Okay, guys, way to outclass me on my own vessel.
But it too was but a diversion from a main curse. A trap with poisonous potions and zombies equipped with their heads. None of that made it to when she actually fell for the trap. Because mysteriously, a book leading to this place and instructing to spin the key appeared at Green's personal base. Which was pretty convenient, cause Rendog needed to get him anyway for messing with his train set.
Oh! No! What? Okay.
Oh, is this why I'm getting hate for Green? Hate for Green? From Green? Not from Green. Green's pretty chill with me.
Now convinced that the stock exchange duo wanted him dead for no good reason, Green roped in Tango Tech for his locksmith skills. The plan was to break into the stock exchange main vault, but just doing that would not be convoluted enough. They had to do it while dressed as false symmetry and Mumbo in a green mask.
Let me hear your Mumbo. Hello everyone, this is Mumbo, and welcome back to another Hermitcraft video. Right?
Better than my false, I'll give you that. Better than my false.
That fooled precisely no one, but mostly because they swapped the diamonds in the vault for their own heads. But at least it made for very confusing thumbnails.
Hey!
So good.
Interestingly enough, actually stealing anything was not in the intentions of the dynamic duo. Shiny rocks were hidden in the vault itself, and hidden obviously not well enough, because someone later has restolen them, and the stock exchange profits remained lost until the jungle debacle months later. Though Green and Tango were going down anyway, if only for the audacity to go anywhere near Doc's personal plant.
What the?
No!
No! Look what he did to your
The
shrub.
tree! You saw this live stream where I was making this thing?
Yeah,
And it was the
took you
biggest,
like 3 hours.
It was the biggest pain in... Oh my god. Bro. They touched the bush. They touched my bush.
Together with stock exchange investors Wellsnet and Exuma, dressed obviously as what's left of Minecraft server, Dokkan went for the most precious possessions the bank robbers had. Tango's rocket shop and Green's poultryman pet chicken Sally. Using their own gunpowder and sugarcane, the trio declared a sale at Tango's fireworks shop, but not before swapping most of his stock for firecrackers that blow up when you fly with them, which Tango then just swapped back for proper rockets and actually kept the sale going because he needed a PR stunt anyway. Sally the chicken met with a less fortunate fate. The poor bird ended up being kidnapped and put into a holding cell in an undisclosed location, with only a ransom video left to remind of her.
We have Sally. You have exactly 24 hours to return the diamonds to the stock exchange. If you don't comply, the chicken is toast.
With honor of the Treat Your Chick Ranch at stake, Stress would not let this go. Naturally, this was the case for Sherlock Sweden and Dr. Stress Monster.
Sally is taken hostage. You have 24 hours to comply. I need to talk to Isco about this. This is
Through much deduction, they find Sally's prison and promptly liberate the life out of her.
Okay,
there's a pufferfish in there. Is that Sally? Oh, ow!
Yeah, that's the pufferfish. That's the pufferfish. I think there's also a Sally.
How do we?
It is Sally. It is Sally.
Yes!
It is Sally.
Sally!
Okay. Hold on. Let's try and get her out.
Oh no!
Oh, come on, dude. Stupid fish.
Desperate to cover their tracks, Stress spawns Sally 2.0 in, hoping Poultryman won't know the difference, which does fool him. Does not fool the lifespan counter though. 2 minutes into the touching reunion, Sally the chicken dies of old age.
She actually died.
Are you kidding me?
Oh no!
She's gone.
I'm sorry.
They're so confused. They're so confused.
And the prank war claims its first victim. But don't think that Impulse's V came out of this unscathed either. Zombie Cleo did not take it kindly to a ghost ship appearing on her property and showing her off. Together with iJaven and Joe Hills, because, you know, this mess hadn't had enough people dragged into it yet, they prepared an atonement cause for the iTrade guy. Core concept: make Impulse's skin crawl as he goes through rooms of rooms threatening vengeance, then don't actually kill him.
Yeah, there's going to be like little dioramas in here. It's going to be fine.
I was gonna say, should we just have this dump him out here?
Yeah.
It's like, we gave you enough spiritual direction, find your own way home.
Yes.
though the tunnel would fill him with Curse of Binding armor, so he would have to kill himself later to get rid of it. After the curse was done, however, Green swooped in, and, in a tete-a-tete with Clea, convinced her that the lava trap at the exit would be a really nice addition. Well, I say convinced, but not much convincing was actually needed.
He killed me, okay? I know Joe might not do this, but I will. So, is everything now done?
Everything is now in place.
It's all set. Are you okay with this?
I am. You know what?
Impulse
Joe
will
wouldn't
100% die.
He will 100% die. Joe will not be okay with this. But you know what Joe doesn't know doesn't hurt him.
Before Impulse met his timely demise in the lava trap, Joe Hills came about! And refusing to turn this teachable moment into a boring old murder, Joe relocates the lava from the end of the tunnel to the top of the Green's base. Which is not as bad as you'd expect, seeing how fire tickers off and also concrete doesn't burn to begin with. When confronted about this TB2T behavior, Joe suddenly pulls out a get out of prank free card that Green threw into his fishing well in the beginning of the season. And I hate to reuse our own jokes, but Joe Hills has somehow found the true pacifist ending.
That you gave me for my wishing well like 8 months ago or something.
Because I took so much paper for some reason. I don't even remember why. Oh my goodness, I never thought that this IOU would actually come back to haunt me.
In the meantime, Rendog had a bigger sweet to fry. Choosing not to start beef with false symmetry over some spilled lava, he instead directed the revenge energy at Iskall, because his chicken and truly went unpunished for too long.
And, well, we got a bunch of poop now. Also, you've got some netherrack, right?
We do, yeah, I've got some netherrack packed up, some more diorite, yeah.
Okay, ready to take flight?
Yeah, let's head off.
Alright,
I'll follow you.
let's take a run up. Okay.
Do run up.
No. Okay.
Without any relatives to pull an Arya Stark on, the two chose Iskall's Egypt base to bake into a cake.
This is great. This is job well done right here. I mean, this is exactly what we needed to do to get him back, I'm telling you.
Was here. This is massive. It's right on top of my castle as well. Is my castle inside here? Oh my goodness, when you do this, usually you would like keep it hollow. This is solid. And has
It took Green demolition services to get rid of, which, to think about it, was pretty much the only time they came in handy.
That was evil.
That's the worst explosion.
No, turn around. No, go back. Go back.
Professional, he says.
And this is where the chain of pranks seems to end. But only because behind the scenes everyone involved has split into two teams, congregating in Iskall's basement and stock exchange vault respectively. This was the moment the prank war has ended, only to become an outright civil war. We will not get into the team composition this time, if only because pointing out all the contradictions in the allegiance will take forever. But what we do have time for is what our comments were screaming about the whole video about Civil War's finale. The mystery behind how Ghost Ship Book made it to Green's base, arguably escalating the whole situation into what it later has become. I say arguably here because I'm gonna argue with it. In the last episode of Civil War, Iskall 85 has a post-credits scene, revealing that it was in fact him who directed Green to the Ghost Ship. The consequences of this mischief are absolutely massive, sprawling through the Civil War itself, digging into the prank war chain, and to this day shaking the server, or at least that's what Iskall's fanbase would like you to believe. In reality, the biggest consequences are the stock exchange heist, and that Iskall was later invited to the Architect group. Green reasoned that he invited Iskall to the Architect specifically because that act of his 1. Dragged Green into the activities, 2. Escalated the whole situation even further, and 3. Was a very sneaky and a brilliant move, resulting in a lot of consequences.
That's the sort of qualities I admire in someone, you know?
good marketing. He's definitely he's got a lot of people involved off of a very simple action. We could do with that.
So I reckon, should we invite him to Architects? Because, I mean, we could really use the manpower on something like this.
So for a fun thought experiment, let's see who by that very logic also should be a part of the Architects, based on their performance in the prank war. 1. Full Symmetry. She was the one who first called upon Green to help prank Rendog, which he happily did, and was only not targeted for it because Rendog was too busy turning Iskall's base into a netherrack confectory. 2. Zombie Cleo, because where Iskall had to go to Green's base and place books and stuff, she just changed one single sign on the spot and threw the entire server for a loop. And finally 3, my favorite. Another Iskall, because he was the one who built the chicken prank, arguably starting the whole ordeal. Look, I'm not saying Iskall shouldn't be a part of Architects. He is very welcome and fun addition. What I am saying, however, is that we shouldn't assign credit for this entire mess to one single person, no matter how big of a fan we are of them. Especially not when so many of the hermits really could use the publicity. The Hermitcraft prank war was an amazing cascade of hilarity, and the best part of it is the collaboration of so many individuals and personalities. Which is to say, they're all to blame here. They all made this bed, and we will see them laying it next time when we crack on with Hermitcraft Civil War. Thank you everybody so much for watching. This has been a presentation by Hermitcraft Recap. I am ZloyXP, the person who generally writes and edits the regular recap episodes, and if you would like to see more of me, you can check out my personal channel, linked in the end cards right now. I'm currently producing a let's play of Bedrock edition of Minecraft called Truly Bedrock, which is very Hermitcraft-like, and I recently started a playthrough of Techtopia mod, made by Tangotech of all people, so check that out if you want more of me. Naturally, you should also subscribe to the recap channel if you want to keep up with the Hermitcraft news, and of course if you don't want to miss the second part of this, where we dig into the civil war of Hermitcraft. Once again, thank you so much for watching. To be continued, have a good one, bye bye.